Hi, my name is Vieira. I'm the CEO at StockMarketLive.tv. Today we are going to discuss this subject, a simple formula for getting rich in the capital markets. This article and this story is based on actual facts. Everything that I do it in real time. I can prove it, as you find on the website of the company. And this article written 2 years ago in 2013, we are going to discuss precisely it today, since it is one of the most important articles I addressed in the past couple of years at StockMarketLive.tv, completely for free to readers of the blog. So if you visit the blog, you just have to scroll down. There is a very recent one, how you can become rich by using this formula. Bear in mind everything that I said in the past 2 decades with regards to this subject of how to get rich, for example, how to become a millionaire, investing or trading GoPro since IPO, or Twitter or Facebook, absolutely everything, it became true. So I can prove it, and therefore I know that it might sound strange, because you can find probably thousands or hundreds or thousands of articles with the same title on the web, but the difference is that if you are aware who I am, then the guarantee or the probability that what you are going to read is 100% accurate. So if you read, and I invite you to read this article, you have to click here on the link that relates precisely to my own article in 2013. The title, A Simple Formula for Getting Rich. I'm not sure in fact whether the English is correct. I'm not native English, and quite frankly I don't care. In this article I do recommend that you read it all over again, because it is very important. Everything that I said there, it is very important. I already warned investors all over the world for this scam website in the US named SeekingAlpha.com, the Motley Fool, and many others, that they have been helping these criminals, they call them authors, in the United States, to publish articles or their own opinions with regards to how to invest in the market, and these individuals, they should be in fact in jail. I'm not referring to individuals that also they appear on CNBC. The case of Jim Rogers. For some reason I believe that George Soros got rid of that criminal. The case of other author that I already discussed several times in the past, Paulo Santos, that he had been writing against Amazon for years. And this article, I suggested precisely what you see here, a description. Long Netflix, this American company became one of the best stock market performers ever. I call it the multi-year bottom in Netflix, but I also call it the crash before the multi-year bottom in Netflix. So you have to bear that in mind, since it was very important. And I'm referring to the crash, the 386 or so, all the way down to 50 to 86. And today you know where Netflix it is trading. This 50 to 86 that I'm referring to is a price ahead of the split. So this stock gained more than 5,000%, depending on the financial instruments that you use since then. Long Morgan Stanley. When a few years ago Morgan Stanley reached the $13.65, I still remember it. I said that Morgan Stanley, in my opinion, will not ever see those prices. Not in fact only Morgan Stanley, many other banks, the case of Wells Fargo at $9, I still remember it, or Citigroup, $1, also a press split price. I don't know, there were many cases. The case of Goldman Sachs, $77. That was not the bottom, but nevertheless a wonderful investment opportunity. And many others. And Morgan Stanley, and we are in 2015, all these years, I maintain the same opinion. So I always maintain the same opinion. And I recommend, in fact, subscribers, those that they had obviously the capital to acquire it, more than 4 million shares in Morgan Stanley on a long-term basis. So today Morgan Stanley is a stock trading above $40. I'm very pleased. And this article, I repeat, it has been available for more than 2 years, absolutely free. And the reason for the article, not only to give investors a simple formula to get rich in the markets, and to prove it once again, since that is what I've been doing for the past more than 2 decades. But at the time, it was one of the, let's say, requests of hedge funds. It is a common request, in fact. They don't want just to invest in one stock, although I've been saying that the only thing that they needed it was to invest in Netflix. But many, for some reason, they have a tendency not to want just one stock, or they want to be diversified. And here you have a portfolio across different market sectors, finance, financial sector, Morgan Stanley and Citigroup. You have here the story of Citigroup, corresponds to the truth. Citigroup, it is today one of the stocks that has been moving higher and higher every single year. And also the very important case of Amazon. It is a long story that I'm not going to address here. Again, I repeat the importance of referring to all those scam stories on websites such as seekingalpha.com and many others, that they have been deceiving investors for years. If a website allows, or a company allows someone to post a lie or a report that is criminal, that company, it is implicitly helping the criminal to succeed, or at least to be heard. All right. So, for example, in our country, at stockmarketlive.tv, in our company, that is impossible. We do not, there are rules, ethics, and we do not. In fact, we fight money laundering, and these companies, they help these criminals to post on the internet, and this should be obviously forbidden. Not only individuals, as companies that they are today, for some unknown reason, they have the right to post everything on the web. And I remind you the recent case with Yelp. They manipulated the share price. I warned, and the share price crashed, as it was going to be the case, because we never missed one single call in Yelp since IPO. Even more important than Yelp, or the case probably of Amazon, it has been for years the case related to the crash in gold. I already referred to this individual, who I consider a criminal. He ran away to, I believe, to Singapore. Probably today it is somewhere else. Selling books and newsletters, this is what they do, and giving interviews on CNBC. I'm talking about these Jim Rogers, who I consider, obviously, I don't know, in word, quite frankly, the adjective in English, mentally corrupt, disabled. The gold was bubble, and so gold, it has been one of our bets on a long term, as well as oil. If you visit the website of the company, stockmarketlive.tv, you are going to have, or to see, or to confirm the existence of, I don't know, maybe, since we have more than 700 articles, I would say that probably 50 are dedicated to the crash in oil, and bets with regards to several companies where, for example, the case of Transocean, that has been one of our multi-year, although there are by far more, but Transocean is one of our favorites, or it has been one of our favorites for several years. And finally, within the case of gold, that meanwhile I'm going to show you here some charts, these very important companies, I'm going to refer to Newmont mining. A couple of months ago, I think that even not, I think it was 1 month ago, I published a case study in Newmont mining where I explained the forecast and the timing of the publication of the case study. It was absolutely perfect. The stock was trading around $27, and that coincided precisely with the top, as it was going to be the case, because Newmont mining was not worth more than $28 an hour, and so today you had a crash once again in Newmont mining that continues trading within a downtrend. And also the case, obviously, we have in this particular one Freeport-McMoRan. Freeport-McMoRan, if I tell you the story about Freeport-McMoRan, you will not believe. So I think it's preferable that not to tell. Quite frankly, I don't have any, for me it is the same. And so we are going to, this article, I repeat, it has been available since, for past 2 years. And if you follow the guidance, free guidance, instead of being tuned to misleading, I still remember a story on CNBC with that program, a program that in fact I don't see, but customers, they send me information. But I don't remember one where on that Fast Money crew, they were inciting investors to buy AKS Steel, American, you probably are aware, the ticker is AKS, AK Steel, at $20 plus. The stock was trading at 22, in fact $25, right? It was 25 and 30 cents to be more precisely, and I had to step in and to say that that stock, along with US Steel, that you'll find plenty of information also on the web, they were some of the best selling short opportunities in the markets on a long-term basis. Today you have AKS Steel, for example, trading at $2 and something, and the US Steel is, dead. And so I'm going to show you here the charts with regards to this ETF. You are aware of it on the screen. GLD represents gold. Gold a bubble, strong sell since 165, and you can see here a multi-year downtrend in place, the bubble region, and then for the past few years, no matter whether you sold short in 2013 or at the very top, but if you miss at the top, then you had the opportunity to sell short in 2013, 2014, 2015, and today you have a new low. So everyone that followed our opinion, selling short gold, everyone is making money, because that was going to be the case, since it constituted part of the simple formula to get rich. And the success is precisely what I announced to be on this article here, that Steve Jobs clearly understood success is all about making it simple, exploiting the fact that human stupidity, and I'm talking about obviously the crowd, is unlimited, as Einstein once said. And therefore you remember that slide about Einstein in almost every single presentation here. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the crowd. So if you are part of the crowd, that is not my concern. But I'm here to try to help people to, in fact, to visualize that they can choose their own destiny, or to at least, I would say, make use of their brain, since that was the single best, and it is the single best tool that God gave us all. We have been proving the theory for 2 decades daily. Therefore, the title of the article was precisely carefully chosen as a simple formula for getting rich, and not in fact for CEO proposals or to be read on the web, since in fact we are dedicated to a very niche market, hedge funds and investment banks. So this is the chart for the ETF, and with regards to gold stocks, you have here one of the opportunities, precisely the case of Freeport-McMoRan, all right, so a new 52-week low in 2015. So no matter which price you sold short Freeport-McMoRan, you had plenty of time to become a millionaire investor by selling short gold not only gold, in fact, as well as oil, since those are they have been addressed as main topics or favorite positions. On the other hand, if you assume, and the same situation is valid for Newmont mining, and on the other hand that you have here the chart, so basically I show you here the chart for GLD DTF, this Newmont mining, ticker NEM, and Freeport-McMoRan. So no need to diversify. If you wanted to invest in the market on the long side, you had in that portfolio some of the best stock market performance ever. The case of Netflix, no one believed in, except myself, that I've been here screaming for years, sometimes quite frankly alone. And we can just here just to demonstrate what happened in fact to Netflix, just for you to visualize the tremendous gain, even if you were late in the sense of investing only in 2013. We are going to see it here precisely 2013. That article is from June on the web. So the stock was trading, so this is a pre-split price, as you can see, the $52.86. This chart already reflects the post-split price. So I'm referring, in 2013 in June, you bought this stock, if you read the article, at $40, all right? So today, Netflix, it is a stock trading at $110 an hour, all right? So the case of Amazon, just for you to visualize how much you have been making. Bear in mind that in the case of Amazon, in the past years, we upgraded the stock. I upgraded the stock for the first time, $77. So it was not the bottom in Amazon. I had at that time the highest target in the world in Amazon. And I always said that Amazon, in my opinion, the market cap one day will be higher than Walmart, Elephant. In the case of Target and Walmart, people, they quite frankly, they don't understand the value behind Amazon and in particular web service. Instead, they invested in other companies like Rackspace, where Rackspace hosting, it has been always a very excellent opportunity on the short side, every time it rallied. The case of Amazon, in 2015, I reiterated the strong buy at 285, and you have this call precisely also free on the website of the company. So if you follow my suggestion in 2013, buying Amazon in June, you bought the stock around $275 or so. So $275 today, Amazon, it is a stock trading at $488, and you have, for example, a blog post from February 2015 saying the upside in Amazon at that time to be $510. So, my friends, you had plenty of information to remain invested in Amazon all this time, even without the need to be a subscriber. But we are not going to stop here, since I would like to show you the chart in this company, Citigroup. Bear in mind, Citigroup, it was one of our favorites on the short side, precisely ahead of the collapse, ahead of 2009, Citigroup. That was also the case with American International Group and even Morgan Stanley. Not so with the Goldman Sachs and some other banks like JP Morgan, although it happened. But our favorites, in fact, it was the case with Lehman Brothers, disappeared, the case of Bear Stearns, the case of Citigroup, that also I consider that it could disappear, and Morgan Stanley, that also I consider that eventually could disappear. So then, after the crash, for the first time in history, never upgraded in fact shares of Citigroup, it happened that Citigroup, after it collapsed to $1, that was precisely, probably you remember this, I don't know if you remember or not, but at least I do remember, the very first day that Citigroup traded at $1, we upgraded for the first time to strong buy. So that it was then a split, I think it was 10 for one. And today you have Citigroup, you know, all these years, you have Citigroup at new high. So if you bought Citigroup also in 2013, you bought Citigroup at $40 or so, according with this article free, simple formula to become a millionaire or getting rich. Today you have Citigroup at $59 or so, okay? So I knew that this Citigroup and Morgan Stanley, they were not going to crash again or to resume the crash. I was 100% confident on both cases, okay? So now we are going to see the case with Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, in my opinion, by far better than Citigroup at some point. That is precisely the case that I announced. In 2013, so you see here that if you bought the stock in 2013 in June, you bought the stock around, you know, $19, at most 20. Today, Morgan Stanley is a stock trading above $40. All right. So I proved that, you know, by following or giving you this portfolio, where you have basically 6 stocks and 1 ETF, you could become easily a millionaire investor in the markets, where obviously the single best performer was going to be this case of Netflix, all right? But the others also important. So I leave you with the original article written here, the former name of the company, and the simple formula for getting rich, where I invite you to read it and to confirm what I said, that became every single one, and I repeat, every single one without an exception, became or materialized where it was included precisely the single best market performer ever, Netflix. And you'll find in with regards to these stocks, in particular Netflix, a lot of information in our website, live calls, targets, upsides and downsides, and you know, all the investment process, as you find for more than 100 leading companies listed on Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange. All right. So I think that is important to leave with this short the gold, since very few they believe a few years ago that gold, in fact, it was a bubble. I do remember to read articles on the web. Those same articles were I think that individuals, the halfers, they should be sued, more than sued, jailed for life in certain cases. Articles saying that gold was going to $8,000 an ounce, $20,000 an ounce. I also remember the case of saying that, you know, Best Buy was going to be $100 stock, and then ahead of a crash in Best Buy. So all these matters, topics, they were discussed in due time, and following up all the way down to the current prices, where, again, I repeat, no matter which price you bought those stocks, Morgan Stanley, and congratulations to the management, I think that you did, or you have done a great job in the past years, comparing to what the company was before. And these opportunities on the short side and on the long side. So it was up to you to decide whether, in fact, you wanted to become a millionaire investor in the market by investing, sitting down and waiting for things to happen, and not necessarily to be there trading every single day. Because if you wanted the follow-up comments, you can have them on live streaming, but no need to be day trading, as most gamblers, in fact, they commit this serious mistake of day trading. What you are doing, in fact, is just to lose focus and become an addict in the markets without knowing, probably, and blowing up entirely your account, since that is going to be the end result, giving your money back to brokers, but that is your concern, since most people, they don't invest in their own equation. Also, they don't deserve to become one of the 1%, all right? So you didn't have to have a very large account, no matter, I repeat, if you had a small account in 2013. Today, I guarantee that the minimum return on investment, by following that formula, it was triple-digit return on investment. In the case, in fact, of Netflix, 4-digit return on investment. Thank you.